Hello again, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Sweet Mac Creations, where I share with you some of my successes in making macarons, failures, and everything else in between. So nice to have you guys with me today as I make my watermelon macarons for this upcoming weekend picnic that's coming up. I hope to have all the different kinds of macarons that I'm making ready for then. I have like 6 different kinds of macarons that I wanted to make, showcase, and give out during that picnic event that I have coming up this weekend. So if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel and please hit the bell notification button so that you know when my videos are posted and so that you can follow me on this journey as I create these picnicky themed macarons, I guess you would call them. I started out here just separating my powdered sugar. I already have my almond flour already separated, so that kind of cut out that step in the process. So I'm very happy to be able to do these things ahead of time and have the time in the summertime, because during the summer months is when I am less busier than during the fall, winter, and some of the spring, because on the side I am a teacher. So I do have another career besides this. I teach the little kids. I actually teach something called RTI. It's a program where I teach students from kindergarten through 5th grade, and I give them some necessary skills that they need to be successful in their general ed classes. So yeah, here I'm just trying to keep my area organized and clean. Oh gosh. And as you see, I have one of my favorite t-shirts, the Rugrats. So if any of you guys love the Rugrats, whoop whoop. It was one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows, part of my generation. I kind of popped that egg yellow right there, and I had to hurry up and take it out because, as you know, when you're making a meringue for your macaron mix, you can't have any fat inside of your meringue. Otherwise, your meringue will not whip correctly. It just needs to have the white inside of there. So any bit of fat or grease or anything like that that makes it into your whipped meringue is going to like ruin it. So I did a good job. I took most of that yellow out so that there was no fat left over in the meringue, and here I am just whipping it all up, trying to get it all together. This particular macaron, I'm going to say, is not an original idea. I did get this idea from the channel Pies and Tacos, which I'll link below in the description below so that you guys can see a full tutorial from the creator of the Pies and Tacos channel. I watch her a lot, as well as other YouTube influencers who create different kinds of macarons, and it's also giving me the chance to get my creative juices flowing, because I also want to start making things that are original. And later on, I'm going to be doing some orange cream macarons where I'll be piping the design on the top with some icing sugar. I've been like stalling and procrastinating and doing that because my piping skills are horrible, and I think I'm just gonna take the plunge, guys. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments below, whether I should take the plunge or not, if I should just get my creative juices flowing and start creating designs with icing sugar on my macarons. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm just not mixing my macaronage all the way. I'm kind of like dividing it so that I have a certain portion for one color, because I'm going to use 2 different kinds of green and a red mixed macaron mixture. And so I'm trying to divide it evenly. And as you'll see in the end of the video, I did not quite get the right proportions, so I had to make macarons that didn't have all 3 colors, which is okay, not a big deal. This is like a practice round. It's like me just taking the plunge and just trying to do something that's different and get an idea of how the macaronage kind of operates when you're mixing three different colors. So right here, I'm mixing a lighter green color per the directions on the tutorial that I watched. And I'm trying not to overmix, guys, because I usually use or mix in my food coloring during the meringue stage when I'm whipping my meringues, because to try to incorporate all that food coloring into the macaronage is going to make it very runny, and then you run the risk of like a really runny batter, and you want it to be like the perfect consistency, because macarons are very finicky, and those of you guys who've made them before, you know that they can be just, it's crazy. But I try not to over mix them, and here I had the darker green that I'm mixing up in there, having a little trouble getting the right color. I use gel food coloring with this, guys, because gel food coloring makes for a better and thicker batter, or a macaronage, whatever you want to call it. I just call it whatever I want when the time comes. But yeah, I mean, I really loaded the food coloring in this one because I wanted to get a nice deep dark green for my watermelon macarons, and I think I was very successful in doing that. So yeah, I'm just mixing it barely here so I can get the right consistency, not mixing it too much, and then eventually I'll just transfer it over to my piping bag and have that rest and sit on the side while I work on my red macaronage. Guys, this is like a really like soothing part, like just seeing that macaronage like drip down like lava into my piping bag. It makes me feel like I'm accomplished. You'll see that I used a disposable piping bag for this one, because the tip that I used for this green was a little smaller for the piping bags that I have. So I literally just used a regular plastic piping bag that I can cut the opening to size. So yeah, here's the red macaronage. Mixing the red food coloring. I actually mixed in two different types of food coloring. I mixed in like a pink, like a rose pink food coloring, as well as like a deep red food coloring, so I can get like that watermelon-y type color going on, like a nice fun summery red, not like a blood red or anything like that. And I think the color worked out because when I was piping these up, my wife noticed that the color was very vibrant, and she just kept asking what I put in my food coloring. And so yeah, here we go, piping. Ooh, scary. I was very nervous to do this part of the process because I was just like, how is this going to work out? How long do I need to let them sit? How do I need to, like, I guess, slam the piping sheet? Because as most of you know, when you're baking macarons, you need to pop those bubbles, and you need to really like slam those macarons, but not slam them too much where they go flat, but just the right amount. And I will just say that I was successful in getting all three colors on here, but some of them are a little bit lopsided. They kind of look like snake eyes, in my opinion, like cartoon snake eyes. My kids themselves were making fun of them, but I think they came out pretty good. I had a pretty good rise to them. They came out very lovely, and so I'm kind of proud of myself because I was able to do it. With this particular recipe, when I started to make the filling, or the white chocolate ganache with the watermelon flavoring, it was a little bit different from the tutorial from Pies and Tacos. She used like a watermelon syrup, but I used a watermelon emulsion. I kind of lean towards emulsions. I think they taste wonderful. It kind of is like tasting a watermelon Jolly Rancher, in my opinion. So if you have kiddies, they would really love this recipe, very much so. So yeah, I mixed it with my white chocolate and my heavy cream. Hot heavy cream over white chocolate makes like ganache. But the difference between this ganache and the one on the tutorial that I saw for these macarons is that I actually used whipped up butter. Like I whipped up room temperature butter so that it was nice and whipped or poofy, however you want to call it. I'm just so bad with words. Like I have a lack of like better terms for the different kinds of projects that I have. I try to find the right words to say, but hey, I'm only human. But yeah, I just whipped up this chocolate ganache with the watermelon emulsion, and I think I might have even added some food coloring, some pink food coloring to this one. I'm not entirely sure, but I really tried my best to whip it up and make it nice and thick. I even put it in the fridge a couple times to like thicken the mixture, and I think I did a pretty good job in doing that piece. It was very fun for me to just taste and go back and taste test, go back, see the consistency. Sometimes you just have to play around with your fillings, guys. Like you're never gonna get it perfect, and it's never gonna be exactly like somebody else's recipe, but I kind of had like this nice buttery ganache texture that I was able to accomplish for these macarons. I think they came out very delicious. I can't wait to serve them to my guests. So anyways, right here I'm just separating my macarons from my container there. I use these containers, I stick them in the freezer to preserve my macarons overnight. So here is like the next day. I'm taking my macarons out and I'm getting ready to pair them up, the ones that are similar sizes to each other, and then I'm gonna get ready to pipe my ganache, my whipped buttery ganache, into these watermelon macarons. And eventually I'll start marking these macarons with little seed markings on them that I do with an edible marker, courtesy of Walmart. They have packs of edible markers, and they have black inside of their pack, so I use that to mark up my seeds. But just right here I'm just getting my macarons paired up, making sure they're all the same size. And eventually when I fill these, I'm going to leave them in this plastic container and stick them back in my freezer, because once I'm done with all 6 varieties of my macarons for the picnic, I will start getting them ready to stage on the different platforms that I have for these macarons. But right here I'm just marking them up with the seeds on there. I thought they were very cute. Yeah, I thought these were really nice looking macarons. I sent some pictures to my friends of mine, and they thought that they were very, very nice. So I think I did a good job. And this technique of piping different colors into your into your piping, onto your piping mat, is a really good technique to use, like to mix different colors. I've seen like swirly patterns that some people make, or some people will even do like stripes on their macarons, but I like this like circular pattern. It's very easy. It wasn't that hard, but it was a little bit nerve-wracking because I just didn't know how it was going to turn out. If it was going to ruin the consistency of my macarons, that was a big concern of mine. I ran into a little bit of problems with my marker, and even though it was a brand new edible marker, like I saw that it kind of faded out at times, so I had to like press it against some paper to get that ink flowing. Right here I'm just piping up that that white chocolate ganache mixture, that buttery ganache with the watermelon emulsion, getting that into my piping bag. I like using these binder clips, guys. Like, they're a lifesaver, because when you have a lot of mixture in a piping bag, sometimes it could like spill over the edge, and this just keeps everything nice and tidy. It kind of like clasps the ends so that I don't get any running out of the piping bag. And here I'm just piping up my watermelon macarons. I'm so excited, guys, like to show these off. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it, but hey, you know what? It could have either went two ways. I could have failed at this task, or I could have been successful. I would give myself like a B minus for these macarons. Seriously, guys, I did great, but I could have done a lot better with piping them on my silicone mat and making sure they were all proportionate. I was just so nervous, and when I'm nervous, I have a hard time. But they came out wonderful, and so I think these will take the prize with the picnic so far, because these are like the first macarons that I've actually completed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my video. Smash that like button, subscribe, bell notifications. I'll see you guys later. Thanks guys for listening to me.